Hey guys, what's up? It is Roy here, and I wanted to do a couple of after the throw, after being on the course, review videos for some discs that I have had the opportunity to try out lately. The first ones I'm going to review are going to be 3 discs that I had the opportunity to try from Goliath Disc Company. There is the Enoch, which is an 8-speed fairway driver. There is the Waymaker, which love the stamp, almost a ghost stamp, nice little shimmer, beautiful stamp. And then there is the Genesis. This is got the Team Goliath stamp on it. I believe this is the Glow, and it's one of their I think 3 different plastics they have now. So initially I got these out. Right off the bat, the initial feel of them is very good, very quality. It feels good in the hand, very smooth, almost slick. So on the 8-speed, it was one thing I noticed right off the bat is it's very slick. While that's not necessarily a bad thing, it just, in water, in rain, something like that, I'm afraid it could get a little slick. But it has a really nice rim on it, fingers, set really well in it, allows you to get a good grip. It doesn't stick to your finger, so you're not gonna worry about over gripping too much, especially from the top if you're putting pressure down, because it's going to slide out of there. It's nice and smooth. The numbers on this is, again, this is the Goliath Enoch. This is an 850 1.5. So what I did to start my test was I threw these discs from a standstill. No warm up, anything like that. From a standstill, just an extension back and flinging them forward. The first thing I noticed about this on the standstill, obviously a lot less power. It definitely came back more than what I would feel a 1.5 would do. So then as I worked up, I then started throwing it on an actual walk up, trying a few different, lines, trying a few different things with it. And that review remained the same. It definitely flies to me more like, I would even say probably closer to a 0.3 than a 1.5. That was consistent again throughout the throws that I made. I felt all of them very much so came back a lot more than what I would expect out of a 1.5. So again, nothing wrong with that. Just knowing the disc, learning the disc, knowing how they fly is something that you're going to want to pay attention to. But again, 850 1.5, I would put it more as an 8.5 0.3, maybe 2.5. So that was that one. Very overall happy with the disc. Not sure if it will make my bag yet. I'm going to throw it a few more times, kind of see how things go. I have a few discs that kind of fit where this flight is right now. So again, we will see. The next disc that initially blew me away from the very first standstill throw was the Genesis. The Genesis on the standstill flew extremely straight. I mean, dead straight. Actually got on the standstill the same distance I initially got out of this. Nice slow flight, dead straight, landed square in the middle of the fairway, exactly where I intended for it to go. After I threw it a couple of times that way, got the same pattern, the same flight, very glidey, very straight. It held a beautiful line, almost zero fade at the end. Just awesome flight. If you add power to it, I noticed as I added more torque, as I added more speed, as with a lot of discs, it became more understable the more power I added to it. So when I tried it on a run up, and it initially throwing it very flat, and with that power, it would torque over and hold that line pretty, and you can see it trying to fight back, but would pretty much hold that line and stay understable. I threw kind of mid-speed, and it would stay understable and give me a nice flight. Maybe I would even say similar to my Uplink from MVP, or my Lone Wolf from Lone Star, gave me kind of that -3.1, -3.5 kind of feel. It would hold that line very much and just have a nice play off to the right. Again, right-handed, backhanded. The more power I gave, the more it wanted to turn over. What I did find out with this, though, is trying it on different lines, throwing it flat, it stayed flat. From a standstill to medium powered throw. If I put a little hyzer on it, it will hold the hyzer line the entire time. If I put anhyzer on it, it would hold the anhyzer line the entire time. So it was very, very responsive to how I threw it and held all of those lines very well. Initially, I was really impressed with it, still very impressed with it. Not sure if it's going to make the bag yet, only because, again, I do have a couple of other discs that are very similar in nature. I would say maybe similar to my Yellow Rose from Lone Star, and a couple of other different putters that my throwing putters just kind of ride in that range. So we'll see where it ends up. I really, really like the disc. I love the feel. It's a little bit gummier than the other one. Nice, just really, really good quality feel. Love the feel of the disc. It's not beaded, so you can see there, it's just a nice, smooth, nice edge. My hand, it feels really good in my hand. Nice width and depth to it. It fits really well. I really, really like the feel of the disc. So I'm confident with some work, it may end up in the bag, but for now, I'm going to continue to mess with it, work with it. Third and final disc from Goliath that I wanted to talk about real quick is the Waymaker. Again, that stamp, I don't know if you can see it, that just an absolute beautiful stamp. It says Waymaker, Goliath putter, up here, Miracle Worker, Promise Keeper, Light in the Darkness. It goes along with the song. Absolutely love that. The stamp is definitely one of my favorite stamps I think I've seen on any disc, period. Any disc from any company. Absolutely love that stamp. I love that cracked ice look of that foil, if you want to call that foil. It's almost ghost. Very, very nice. This one, from the first throw, I knew it was going in the bag. There was zero question. From the very first throw, it just had an amazing flight. So it actually had a very, very similar flight to the Genesis, but with a little bit more turn, a little bit more, where that I would put almost at a 0.0, maybe a 0.5. This would be more of like a 0.1. And it it impressed me very much so from the beginning. I threw it across the field. I threw it on some 200-foot holes. Threw it at the basket a few times. Every single time it was parked. Just a beautiful flight. Very consistent. Again, same thing with the Genesis. If I put a lot of power on it, it did tend to go a little more understable. But if you tried to, I threw it on an anhyzer and it did try to fight back a little more on a regular to medium power throw than it would on a full speed, high power throw. So very, very impressed with the flight of this. This one, I can tell you right now, is going in the bag from day one. Very impressed. So overall, I'm going to give the disc I threw from Goliath as a whole, I'm going to give them a solid A. Quality plastic. It feels great in the hand. Love the stamps. Love the look of everything. I like the flight of everything. Very, very good stuff. So Goliath, great job. I hope this review does you fair. I just wanted to give a personal opinion and after flight review. If anybody has any questions, I know some people I can direct you to. I know people that have discount codes. So let me know. Happy to get you in touch with the right people. Goliath, keep doing what you're doing. Keep serving God. Keep making these nice discs with Christian meaning and Christian stamps. I love it. This is going in the bag. These may end up there as well. Keep it going. Thank y'all again.